Today I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorite snacks, Cajun boiled peanuts. Normally I make them on the stovetop, but now that I have an Instapot, I'm about to try my luck with making it in the Instapot. First, you're going to take raw peanuts, or you can use green peanuts, but I have raw peanuts. You're going to measure out 2 pounds of raw peanuts. Okay, got my 2 pounds. Next, you'll sift through the peanuts and make sure ones like this with a little tail, you want to remove the tail off of there. Which typically when you get them packaged like this, it shouldn't be too many like that. Looks like they seem to be fine now. Now I'm going to rinse them with water. If you notice here, me putting water in the bowl makes them rise to the top. The peanuts will rise as you cook them, but that's okay. They're going to be in the Instapot. Sometimes you can weigh them down if you're going to cook them on the stovetop, but I don't think I'm going to have to weigh them down for the Instapot. Now I'm going to go ahead and drain this water off.
These are the ingredients that you'll need to make your brine: salt, liquid smoke, garlic powder, crushed red pepper flakes, Tony Chachere's, and crab oil.
So we have our peanuts here already rinsed, and I'm going to go ahead and add them to the Instapot. You want to make sure that you have an 8 or 6 quart Instapot for this, because you want to make sure that you have enough room to put the water and make your brine. So we have our peanuts added inside, and we'll start with either sea salt or kosher salt. You want to add 1/3 cup of the salt. Next, you're going to want to add 3 tablespoons of Cajun seasoning. I always like to get Tony Chachere's, more spice. Next, you will add a tablespoon of Chachere's shrimp and crab oil. Next, you will add 1 to 3 teaspoons of crushed red pepper flakes. Depending on how spicy you want it, you can just go with 1 teaspoon. But you know, for me, I'm always going to go big or go home. We're going to go 3 teaspoons. Next, we're going to do a teaspoon of garlic powder. And then we'll finish it up with 1.5 teaspoons of liquid smoke. Alright, now we just need to add the water. At this point, you want to add at least 4 quarts of water. I am just going to add enough until it reaches my fill line. Move it back. So I added it to reach the fill line. And I'm just going to pat it down so that my spices and seasonings can get in the water. Lid goes on. Okay, so I have it on 95 minutes right now. The Instapot is starting to warm up and pressurize. And so we just got to wait for it to finish. I'll be right back. Oh, and one quick note as well. Whenever you do it the Instapot route, you will go ahead and let it cook all the way through. And instead of doing a quick release of the pressure, you're going to let it naturally do a slow release. So the cooking time is coming along pretty nicely. We are almost down to the 15-minute mark. Once we get to 15 minutes, we'll continue to let it pressure cook throughout that last 15 minutes. And then we will allow it to convert into the keep warm feature so that it can slowly and naturally release the pressure. So it is done pressure cooking, and now it is switching over to keep warm. In this keep warm function is where it will do the natural slow release. So I guess I'll let this count up to about 20 minutes. Then we'll go ahead and check the inside of the pot to see what we got. Okay, so the peanuts have been keeping warm for the last 25 minutes. So let's make sure the pressure. There's a little pressure that has to be released, which is crazy because normally within 20 minutes or so, it will have automatically depressurized. This is my first time trying it in an Instapot, so we'll have to see that. Smells like a high school football game, or smells like a fall fair. Smells like boiled peanuts. Smells like home. Okay. Look at them. Let's check the water, see if they need to cook longer or what they need to do. So put me a bowl right there. Grab a spoon. Actually, let me let you see. The boiled peanut. The texture of it truly varies based on your taste. Some people like them to be really, really soft, almost like a bean. Some people like a little firmness, like a chickpea. It's really up to you. And then you can let it sit in the brine for longer in order to have it take on the flavors more. No, these are too hard for me. Definitely too hard for me. Let me add some more water. I'm just gonna put a little more water. Yeah, it's still kind of hard for me, and then the flavor hasn't soaked in there yet. So I'm gonna let this cook for some longer. Let's go ahead and cancel here. Set it to pressure cook again. I'm gonna go another half hour, and then we'll come back and see what we got. Okay, so it cooked for 30 minutes, an additional 30 minutes, and then I let it naturally release the pressure for a little over an hour. So maybe that was the They look more settled now. See how they're actually settled into the brine like they should be? So let's grab one. Second time's the charm. Okay, so I'm opening this one. It is very hot. And yes, this is how the peanut is supposed to look, y'all. Dang. See how it looks thoroughly cooked on the inside? That's how boiled peanut is supposed to look. Not hard, soft, and full of moisture. Now that's the boiled peanut, y'all. That's the Cajun boiled peanut. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. New Orleans style Cajun boiled peanuts. It's a southern thing. Like this video, share, comment, and subscribe.